Hi there, I'm Psaila and welcome to today's episode. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be speaking about a client funnel. Now, what's a client funnel? A lot of people go, well, what's a funnel? Is it, kind of something that you pour a liquid into, or is it, something maybe that you pour petrol in or something like that? Well, in actual fact, the concept's kind of the same, right? In other words, you're getting a lot of liquid that comes down into a smaller part or a more concentrated outcome. Now, what does this mean in business? What's a client funnel in business? Well, client funnel in business is how you get in touch with possible leads that turn into a prospect that eventually come through your system or your business, whether you're selling a product or a service, and then end up becoming clients, and then end up becoming referral clients, and then hopefully end up being not only clients for life, but referral machines that tell other people to do what they do. Now, let me draw it for you so everybody gets a really good idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's talk about a client funnel. Yeah? Okay, now, step one in the funnel, so I'm just going to draw it like this. Okay, so step one is usually a lead magnet. And usually what this is a level of what I like to call it, especially if I'm doing this online, this is an opt-in. All right, so let's talk about a client funnel online, or an online client funnel. Now, here's what I mean. So first step is a lead magnet. So in other words, you've got an offer that somebody likes. Here's an example. So if you're in the wellness industry, as an example, and you're somebody that deals with back pain, maybe your offer is, here's 3 videos to show you how to get, rid of that niggly lower back pain that you may be, having after sports, or, if you're sitting down for a long time, if you're a truck driver, if you're whatever it may be, right? So you've got, some level of education that you can give somebody, and in exchange for their opt-in details. In other words, an opt-in detail is their name and their email. In some cases, you may have a 2-step opt-in, and 2-step opt-ins turn into things like, name, email, and then the next step would be maybe your phone number and, mailing address in case you're going to send something out. I use 2-step opt-ins. In some cases, we use a 1-step. A lot of the times, I like to use a 2-step opt-in. Now, so with the lead magnet, what you're doing is you're exchanging information that's good for the client or good for the prospect at that particular time to start to engage with you. So they'd be happy to exchange their name, email, maybe some other contact details in exchange for the information that you have. Now, it's interesting because a lead magnet isn't the complete offer. In other words, you're not necessarily going to help people through everything that they need. You're just going to be specific on one part. So if, lower back pain is what I've got, I'm going to give you some tools and tips that you can use to start to help you. Now, if pain persists, obviously you're probably going to need the next step. Now, here's the next step on the lead magnet. Now, the next part of it goes to the core offer. In other words, the core offer is usually, it's going to be your product or your service, right? This is what we do. Now, here's what I mean. So in other words, what you're offering is your true offer. In other words, so if you're, as an example, a builder, the lead magnet may be, let us come in and give you an hour consultation for free to talk to you about the best way to design your new house, or the renovation that you may be doing, or the extension that you're going to be doing. And then the core offer is, let us give you a quote to engage us so we can get building the product itself, the renovation, the new house, the extension, or whatever it may be on the house. So do you see, your core offer is what you offer as your main product and or service. So if you're a plumber, you do plumbing. If you're an electrician, obviously you do electrical work. If you're a coach or a consultant, that's what you do right there, regardless of what it is. If you're a dentist, you do dentistry, all these things that come from that. Now, in other words, so you've got the lead magnet. The next component is the core offer. Yeah. Now, the next part after this is what I call the profit maximizer. So this here is about profit. Yeah. Probably not the best text to use, let's go this way. Profit, yeah, maximizer. Now, what's a profit maximizer? So this is stage 3, profit maximizer. Now, what's that? Now, the best way for me to describe that is, McDonald's, everybody's pretty much heard of McDonald's and or been to McDonald's, their core, their profit maximizer is something like, do you want fries with that? In other words, it's an upsell. I like to call it a profit maximizer, but really it's an upsell at the end of the day. So once people have gone, hey, would you like us to do, as an example, if you're a builder, would you like us to, renovate that, back part of the house, turn it into a living area or whatever it may be, maybe their profit maximizer would be, hey, guess what? We can build a pergola for you, or we can build a area where you can have your spa. Maybe we could build a pool for you. Maybe we can look after the, concrete, your driveway, any of these type of things. So in other words, it's an upsell. So what does this look like if I use McDonald's as an example? So the lead magnet, come in and get, a sundae for 50 cents. That's a lead magnet. It draws people into the restaurant. The core offer is, would you like a McValue meal? So you're going in for the, the ice cream, but really what you're going to be, once you're there, you go, you know what, I'm not just going to get the ice cream, I'm probably going to get a McValue meal. So that may be a burger, a drink, some fries, whatever it may be. And then what they usually say with the profit maximizer is they say, would you like to supersize that or upsize that, or would you also like a sundae or a thick shake or anything that goes around with that? So do you see, the profit maximizer is the next component up. So I want you to think about it, that these are the 3 main components of the funnel. Now I'm just going to add one more part to it, and I believe this part is critical as well. So the next component here, so this goes on from here, comes down to here. The next component here that I believe here is the referral piece. So in other words, once people have come in and they've asked about, what you have, they've engaged with it, they've bought your product, there's been an upsell in with the product as well. The next part that I love the most is then asking for a referral, or in other words, saying to them, if you really loved what you've seen here, if you think that this is of good value, would it be okay if you introduce me to maybe somebody specific, like your accountant, or somebody that that has already got your clientele, your client avatar. In other words, somebody that that has got leverage, or other people that you could be speaking to. So as an example with McDonald's, once people do that, their referral may be, here's this little ticket that you can get, a free coffee next time you're in, or if you'd like to give it to somebody else, they can come in on your behalf. Buy one coffee and you get the other one free. Bring somebody into the restaurant and your meal is 50%, as an example, right? So do you see, what I'm doing here is I'm looking at how do I then speak to the person that's already come through the system, and now be able to speak to them to say, hey, would it be okay for me, to ask you for a little bit of help? If you like what you see, would it be okay if you tell somebody else, or could you pass me those details so I can get in contact with their person, with that person? Now, as business owners, please don't be scared of this part. The worst possible thing that you could possibly ever get is, no, sorry, thank you, I really like your stuff, but I don't really know anybody right now, as an example. So if that's okay, it's cool, but let me give you a little tip. If you don't ask, you're not going to know, right? That's it. Okay, so let me just do a quick recap. So we've got the lead magnet, step 1, core offer, step 2, step 3 is the profit maximizer, step 4 is the referral. And this is a marketing funnel or a sales funnel that you're able to implement into your business. You just have to break down the components, nice and easy, won't take too long, and then start to implement this. In some of our other videos, we're going to be speaking about how to design lead magnets, and also how to design more of a flow using, some amazing technology. All right, I hope you had a great time learning this. I'm really excited to be with you. I thank you. I'm Psaila, and I look forward to seeing you on the upside.